Hello, my name is Lacey and welcome back to Late Night Coloring Mama. Tonight I thought we would do part 2 of the color and chat of my last video. I did part 1, so tonight we'll do part 2. The book that we're coloring in is Anti-Stress Color by Numbers by David Woodroff. Here is some of the answer key. And in the front of this is also a color by number, which is really cool. And the introduction page is also a color by number. So at some point, if I ever finish this book, I probably will go back and color those. So I also want to let you know that I did continue coloring some of the picture. So it's going to be a little bit farther along. So I thought I'd color most of the last bits of it with you. So this is how much I had colored. You can see that here. And then I might, because there's so much green, I might add some more color to it after we're finished. So yeah, the color key is on the back. This is the color key. Stays the same throughout the book. Now, something I did learn in my last video, you don't always use all the colors in each picture, so every page won't have all of these. And there's more of an answer key. So I'll have it like this. This is a picture I previously colored, and the only picture I colored in this book besides the one I'm doing now. So yeah, let's get started. We will start on number 15, which is going to be orange. And I'm just using Artist Choice. And on the pencil itself, it does not say the color. So I went by what I thought would look the best. So let's get started. Curious to see how the orange is going to look in this picture. And I will hold the picture up when I'm finished too, so maybe you can get a better view if you don't think you can see it that well. Or so how is everyone doing tonight? I hope you're happy and you're healthy and you're well. I'm doing pretty good. I can't complain. Today's been a pretty good day. You guys will be seeing this video after Christmas. So I am wishing you all a Merry Christmas, or day or night wherever you are. This orange is, I don't know if it's lighter than I was thinking, or that's okay. All right, let's see. Today here, it was really foggy all day. My daughter, she woke me up at, it was after 6. It wasn't 6:30 yet. She was awake, so we got up, and she wanted to watch some cartoons. So we sat in the living room and watched some cartoons while Dad and brother were sleeping. And then my son woke up shortly after. And he said, "Mom, it's so foggy outside." It was still dark, so I guess I couldn't really tell. But yeah, he has some amazing eyesight because all day it was really, really foggy. And I've said in previous videos that pretty much in my backyard, down a hill, there's a lake. Yeah, you couldn't see across the lake hardly. There was so much fog. It was super foggy today. We had a high of 48. So that was that one. It was a nice day. Pretty nice. My son and husband went to do errands today, and they said it was really, really nice out. I just did some laundry and did some cleaning. And prepped some things for Christmas. My husband's making chili. I mentioned that before, and he was prepping that. We're actually going to have it on low overnight. We used 2 roasts. He browned them in the pan. He does his own special seasonings and everything. Cooked up some bacon a little bit. I'm going to put that in there. Then we got black beans, northern beans, kidney beans, and he got some other type of bean. Smells amazing. So yeah, it's cooking overnight tonight. Just like keep warm, and then tomorrow we'll have it up fully or low. I thought he said keep warm. I don't know. It's gonna be on low or keep warm. I didn't look. Yeah, I'm excited, and I was talking with my niece tonight, and she said she's getting the charcuterie board ready for the chili. She says she's doing Fritos, sour cream, cheese, green onion, avocado, jalapeno. Did I already say that? I don't remember if I said that or not. But yes, every year on Christmas Eve we do chili. And then like snacky foods. And Christmas Day is like the meal. Well, this orange is definitely adding some brightness in this picture. My husband, when they came back from errands, him and my son, I was checking the weather to see what tomorrow's going to be. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve. You guys will probably see this video. Well, it's going to be after Christmas, so. But anyway, they're saying Christmas Eve, it's supposed to be a high of 53 and rainy. My husband's like, this is the best Christmas ever. He doesn't want snow. He's fine without it. I want snow on Christmas. Well, I suppose, shoveling and snow blowing, and he doesn't want me to help. That stuff's backbreaking. And he does our neighbor next door and the neighbor across the street. He does, if there's a lot of snow, he'll snow blow for them. One year he went down to like almost the end of the block snow blowing because it was so bad. Well, I shouldn't say to the end of the block because our block's long, but there is another, probably halfway. So yeah, he doesn't want the snow. But winter has just started, only a few days ago. Just the first day of winter. So I'm sure we'll get snow eventually. Just not sure when. got 3 months to wait for it, so. Do any of you guys like snow? Or do you like it warm? I love all seasons, but after so long of each season, I'm ready for the next. I enjoyed fall for as long as I could enjoy it, I think. But yeah, once mid-December comes, I'm ready for the snow. And I like it on New Year's too. And Valentine's Day. And St. Patrick's Day. I like all the holidays as well. Now these pencils, they are a little bit hard too, but I like the way they feel, I think, better than the Statler pencils. I don't know. I mean, I use them all, but I guess have a certain preference of how they feel. So tonight I made lasagna in the Instant Pot for the first time. And usually I make our own like marinara spaghetti sauce. And I was out of tomato paste. So I was like thinking of other options to do it because I didn't want it like too runny or yeah, I didn't want it too runny, like soupy. My husband, we freeze dry stuff, so he's like, well, I have to make some, and I didn't know how long that would take, so I was like, no, we'll just, we're thinking we'll just wing it and see what happens. So I was browning the pork, adding in the salt and pepper and garlic, and then I start making the sauce. Usually I use tomato sauce, which I have some previously that I bought at the store, but we also, in the summer, if we get a lot of tomatoes, which is past summer, holy cow, we had the most tomatoes, I think, ever. We canned and we freeze-dried a bunch of sauce, so we have that, but I use tomato sauce, and usually I use a tomato paste. Well, didn't have that, so I'm just going to throw some diced tomatoes in there, and we're going to see what happens. So I did that. Did the Italian seasoning, the parsley, usually like garlic powder, a little bit of crushed red pepper. Sometimes I put basil in there. And then I do Worcestershire and some sugar. And then I add a cup of water. Well, I'm thinking, oh, this will be fine, I don't know if I'm going to have to add another cup of water in the Instapot. I said Instapot. I call it Instapot, but it's Instant Pot. I call it Instapot. Well, anyway, oh well. So after all that was done cooking, I put it in the Instapot and broke up some lasagna noodles. And I'm like, well, I got to cover the noodles, so I need to add more water. So I added a cup and it covered the noodles. Put it on manual. High pressure for 4 minutes. That was done. Did the quick release. And I'm like, gosh, this kind of looks soupy. It's going to be like lasagna soup, which would be fine because there is lasagna soup and we've had that before, and I just didn't want it soupy, but that's okay. So I mixed in about a cup of cottage cheese. I put cottage cheese. My store didn't have ricotta. I'll use ricotta too sometimes. Either or is fine. So I did cottage cheese, and then I sprinkled some mozzarella on it and some Parmesan and closed the lid for a little bit to let it melt. Pulled it out. I'm like, this looks still soupy. So it was like scalding hot. Scoop some in our bowls. Let it sit for a second or so. And then it thickened right up, so it wasn't even soupy anymore. And then I had some French baguette bread. Heated that up in the oven and had some butter on it, and it was actually really good. I almost like it now. Like, I don't know if I like it better. It almost, well, kind of. I really liked it, but I don't know. It's something we will make again. So I finally got that, and there wasn't even much left over. I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be like huge, all this with, well, my husband had 2 helpings, so I'm thinking he really liked it. I had 1. My daughter, she tried some, so at least she tried it. She's really picky with food. And my son scarfed it right up. He said it was delicious. And the funny thing is, my husband or son do not like cottage cheese at all, but they like it, well, normally not at all, but they like it in lasagna, so. And it was a quick and easy meal, Sometimes being a mom, you just want something quick and easy. Well, I do anyway. Not always, just sometimes if we're busy. Because I know tomorrow and Christmas Day we'll be busy. So I usually, sorry, I didn't mean to move my book for you guys. I usually make lasagna in the oven. That's the way I used to always do that. Because that's how I was taught. My mom had taught me. And when we make it in the oven, do the same with the meat and sauce. But with my cottage cheese mixture, I do that separate in a bowl, and I crack an egg in there with it and mix it in. And one of my good friends does it the same way. If I do that in the oven. And lay the noodles and layer the sauce, and then I layer the cottage cheese mixture on top and just basically repeat the steps. And then put your mozzarella or whatever cheese you want to use at the end. And sometimes I'll do it in the crock pot, but I feel like the sides get kind of, I spray it and I cook it as long as it says. Sometimes I check it and I'm like, gosh, this cooked really fast. And the sides get kind of, I don't know. I mean, it tastes great in the crock pot too, but you guys got any quick and easy favorite meals that you like to do when you're having a busy day? This morning I made pancakes for breakfast. Usually on the weekends, on Saturdays, we do that quite a bit. My son and daughter love pancakes. My daughter recently started liking pancakes. She did not too long ago. And now she wants them all the time. So I think she's starting to try different things. Which is good. If I don't like something, I'm not going to tell my kids that they can't try it. I always want them to try something if they want to try a certain food. Because there's stuff I dislike, everybody, well, most people dislike something. But I like most all food. I grew up, eating all that stuff, and we had to eat it when we were kids. Okay, I think that's it for 15. So let me find number 28, which is going to be black. So we'll start that. I can hold this up a little bit for you guys. Yeah, so I might take like a darker green in here when we're done to make it stand out more. I'm not too sure. We'll see when it comes out what I think will look best. So I'm going to get the black. Okay, and this is Crayola. I'm using a Crayola in the black color. That's what it shows for 28 here. No, I think colored pencils were awesome in here, or those really, really fine tip markers would, because there's a lot of small points in this book. And I did use one marker in here, and you probably can't really see it. It's kind of like a cool gray, and I used it in this little part here. Well, you kind of can see it, maybe. No, it almost looks white right here. So yeah, I kind of use that in there. I use my Dabo and Shobo markers, which I've been trying them out and using them a lot more. And I actually love them. I really love them. Ooh, that really pops out in that picture. So last night we were able to sit back and relax a little bit and watch some movies. We try to do that quite a bit on the weekend, because the weekend we let the kids stay up a little bit later. On the weeknight, if we watch a movie, they're in bed at normal bedtime. School night's 7 o'clock. If they don't have school, it can be a little bit later. So we watched with the kids the new Trolls movie, Trolls Band Together. And I was even laughing at some parts of that movie. Some parts were pretty funny in there. It was pretty good. My daughter, she didn't watch it too long. She was ready for bed. She normally goes to bed most of the time at 7, regardless if she doesn't have to. She just gets tired. So, yep, she goes to bed usually. And my son, he stayed up and watched it, and he said he thought it was pretty good. I still like the first and second movie the best out of them, but that was still good. And it made me laugh. Have you guys seen that movie? Trolls Band Together? And then, and I was already tired, and I was like, oh, I don't know. I really want to see the new Hunger Games movie, but I don't know if I'd be able to stay awake. So my husband kind of talked me into watching it. He was talking about it, and he's like, well, you can try. So I watched that movie, and it, at first it started, and I'm trying to pay attention, and I'm like, okay, this is different. And I know it was going to be different, new cast and everything. But then I got hooked. It didn't take me that long to get hooked right into it. And it was so good. Some parts were like sad and heartbreaking. But the end, I was not expecting the ending, the way it ended. And I'm not sure how I feel about it. It was like, I think it was like 2 hours and 20 some minutes long, that movie. And I was awake. Yeah, it was good, but I don't know about the ending. Have any of you guys seen that movie? If so, what did you think? Ooh, this part's really little. And I sharpened my pencils before. I'll always do that. I just don't want to stop coloring and have to go sharpen them when rather be chatting with you guys. So if we don't finish this tonight, I will finish this myself. I'm not going to do another part. And then if we don't, you guys will see it in my December wrap up of what I colored for the month of December. Well, this is kind of neat. So what is everyone up to tonight? Are you coloring? Watching any good movies or TV shows? Reading a book? Are you watching and hanging out? I did actually get to color today. My son and daughter both wanted to color, so I was like, yes, I will color. And that doesn't happen all the time. So when it does, I definitely do it when I can. Otherwise, it's late at night when they're in bed. Wow, this is going to look really cool, I think, once it's completely finished and it's like outlining the flowers. Okay, here's another one. How's the weather where you are? Got any snow? Is it really nice? Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, they're supposed to saying high of 53 and rain. So, where I'm at anyway. Ooh, these are a lot of lines. I gotta go back over here so I don't miss that one. This really wraps around, this color does. I like the wider parts. If my pencil's really sharp, I don't mind the finer points. So one of my best friends stopped by today and she gave me a Christmas gift and a nice hug. We haven't got to hang out in such a long time or see each other. So yes, she came over with a Christmas gift, got me a book and a cute book ornament that I'm going to hang on my tree every year. Absolutely love it. I had gotten her some hair clips and like a body scrub and like a sugar scrub, and she loves all that stuff. And body butter. It's Tree Hut brand. You can get them at Target. And they smell so good. Got her like a coconut scented one. I love the smell of coconut. Pretty much anything coconut. Yeah, she knows me pretty well. She knows I love to read. She's pretty good too, because whenever she gets me books, it's not one I have, and I have quite a few. I have over 600 books. I already said that before. So that's my goal this year. One of my challenges for myself is to read more of my own books. And then if I'm not interested in them, to donate them to someone who might be interested in them. We'll see. A lot of my books I have a hard time getting rid of. Like the ones I really like, I keep. So I'm like, I will reread this again. And they are on shelves, so it's almost like my own little library. I've been a reader since I was a kid. And I remember being in school, and our teachers always had us read out loud. So at home, when we read, we'd practice reading out loud. And at my parents' house, they have like, I don't even know how to describe our upstairs. They have a steps that you go up the upstairs, but there's a spot like where you can sit. Like as you go up the stairs, it's kind of a wide part. So I used to sit there when I was little and read out loud. And my siblings, brother and sister, they used to get so annoyed with me reading out loud. And I'm still a reader. My son has to read out loud for school, and I don't mind it. Now, I don't know if reading's his favorite, but when he was a baby, he loved it. I read to him from 3 months on till he was like in kindergarten, and then he started learning how to read. Now, my daughter, she likes books now. At first, she didn't really care too much about them. But now she wants me to read too to her. Which, yes, absolutely, I love reading. And I don't know, I might buy books occasionally, but if it's like maybe a book of a series that I need to continue, if the library doesn't have it that I have, or something like that, maybe, but definitely not going to buy a lot of books to read since I have so many. But more coloring books, yes, I'll be buying more coloring books. Oh, there's going to be a lot of this. It's going to go all the way around. It's going to look neat, I think. Alright. Sorry, I keep looking at the picture whenever I pull back to see how it's going to wrap around. So my kids, they're really excited for snow. They already got their new boots this year because their feet grow so fast. Yeah, they want to go sledding, build forts outside, build a snowman. And I loved doing those things when I was a kid too. I still wouldn't. I don't mind going sledding. Probably not any good at building forts anymore, but a snowman wouldn't be bad either. When I was a kid, my brother and me in the front yard, once the snow was kind of hard and packed really good, I think he did most of the work. I would probably just kind of, I don't know. I probably helped a little bit, but probably wasn't as good. Dug a hole and made like a tunnel right in the front yard in the big snowbank. And then in the back of my parents' backyard, I don't know what it was, because behind the house, my parents added onto their house a long time ago, before I was born. So like outside their bedroom window, they'd always get like a big snow pile, like going up to the window. So we always used to take our sleds and go down that hill. We have a sledding hill that the kids can actually go down, not at our house, but there's an actual hill in town where people take their kids and go sledding. So yes, my son has been there and he loved it. It'll be my daughter's first year, so she'll be excited. And then snowmen, I remember taking old scarves and wrapping them around the neck of the snowman. We used to do that when we were kids. That was always fun. Okay, I'm just looking to see. Oh, this one is going to wrap around right here. If you liked snow when you were a kid, what was your favorite thing to do in the snow? I liked making snowballs, but I didn't like getting hit with them, because those could hurt. Alright, I think I got all that little section done. Just double checking. So if you watch any of my previous videos, I have mentioned how, I got a tickle. Hold on. Sorry about that. Excuse me. Tickle in my throat again. I am drinking water tonight, too. What are you drinking? Anyway, so I mentioned how me and my sister-in-law love Downton Abbey. So I got her a Christmas Downton Abbey cookbook. One of my emails that I've gotten, my private email, I get like book notifications and stuff like that. That was in there, and I was like, oh my goodness, she will absolutely love that. I love it. So, Downton Abbey Christmas cookbook. And I got it, and I was browsing. It's hardcover, it's really heavy, it's nice. I was browsing in it, and they have pictures in there from like the show and movie. And it almost like it tells you the story and the characters and like what meals and desserts and drinks they like, and the recipes are in there since it is a cookbook. It's really neat. Like some of the stuff, I don't think she'd actually make. I mean, I probably wouldn't make. They just show what they eat, but some of the desserts and stuff look neat. It just looks like a nice piece to have setting out, I think. So I was very excited about that. And it shows how they decorate their table for Christmas, and just, it's really, really pretty. And then I seen that they also have other books as well. So they have another cookbook, and then they have like, I don't know if it's a recipe book, but it was something about teas. So maybe it's certain teas that they drink, and maybe other things that they drink. I'm not too sure on that one, but I just like, gosh, I love these. I would like these too. So maybe I will have to get them, and maybe it can be a collection for both of us. That would be really neat. So yeah, it's really, really pretty. I actually have to wrap that tonight after this video. I'll be up late anyway, so might as well do that, and then I'll probably get tired. And I also got to wrap my dad's gift. And one of my nephews, and one of my nieces. And then everything is good to go. Yeah, no, I kind of waited last minute to wrap. My husband did all the wrapping of other presents, because he knows I'm not that good, but I said I would do these. Okay, let's see what this looks like when I'm done with this part here. And then I think, oh, we might have to move over here a little bit. I'll hold it up so you guys can see what it's starting to look more like. You see those flowers? It's different, but I think it looks cool. The video might not show it as good, but I think it looks pretty cool. So my next video, I think I'm going to do a flip through of a coloring book that I haven't colored in and haven't shown you guys, and it's very cool. I love it. Just fun. I think it's more of a fun coloring book than anything. Okay, let's see. I'm almost going to be up here pretty soon. I'm surprised I didn't go across. I'm getting used to moving around more instead of that order thing that I always had to do. Alright, let's see if this is... Now, what kind of flowers do you think these are? I'm not really sure. But they're pretty. Okay, let's see. I think we got all this section. So I can move up here. Okay. So for lunch today, we kind of had a snacky day. We had a meat and cheese and cracker, kind of like Trey. And then we had some chips and dip. Kids love when we do that. We do that occasionally. We don't do that a lot, just once in a while. Do it for like a lunch. Kids absolutely love it. Something kind of fun, switching things up. Usually when we have lunch, my son always wants peanut butter and jelly. He's obsessed. Or he likes peanut butter and pickles. And my daughter wants some kind of meat. Some type of meat. Lunch meat. Dried beef. Occasionally she'll want macaroni and cheese. Or a hot dog. Or... And then sometimes for supper we do like breakfast for supper. Does anybody else do that where you make like eggs, toast, bacon, maybe sausage patties? We have combo bars from Hormel. They say Hormel. They're actually pretty good. It's coming along. So do any of you have any coloring plans for the month of January? Since that's coming right up soon. I wouldn't say I really have any plans. I kind of go with the flow and see what I'm feeling, you know. If I want to try something new that month, I might, you know. Just go with the flow. I just don't want to stress myself out. I enjoy coloring. I don't want to... No. I just can't do that to myself. I stress enough about everything else, so... Like, you know, I'm an anxious person and I worry about everything. Sometimes I worry so much I shake. And I'm just like, what the heck? And I try to calm myself down, so. Or I get sick. You worry so much you get sick. So, the less stress, the better. Are there any coloring books you're looking forward to coloring in January? Or are there new books? Some older books you're gonna get? Or I would be interested in hearing. I might try to color in some winter pictures. We'll see. Since it is technically winter now. I kind of like coloring in a variety. If you haven't noticed in my videos, I like to color all types of things. Not just a holiday. I do color the holiday too, but I like to color other things as well. Got me thinking now. Is there a New Year's coloring book? I don't know really what you'd put in a New Year's coloring book, but it might be something fun. Maybe like a dance with a disco ball or party hats and them crank things. I don't know what they're called. That were loud when we were kids. I don't even know if they sell those anymore. Honestly, I don't think I've seen them. Usually we well, where I live, we try to get little New Year's things because we do stuff with the kids. But I don't think I've seen those crank things. So I'm not sure they even sell them anymore. Do you know, do they have those where you live? But I remember they were so loud when I was a kid. I probably drove my parents nuts with those things. Those cranks. Or those toys that you like hold and like bang together. I don't know, they're like two balls on the end and they snap together. I don't remember what they're called. I used to bang on those all day. When I was a kid, I could just sit and do that for hours. I haven't seen those in years either. We had a lot of fun stuff when we were younger for New Year's and just random toys even. Speaking of toys, I was thinking the other day of a toy my cousin had and we used to play with it all the time. It was for outdoors. It was called a Zoom ball, where you each were on one end I'd be on one end and my cousin would be on the other, and there was a ball in the middle. You'd open your arms and the ball would go to the other side and close and open. Sometimes that would snap your finger, you got it in there. And that would hurt. Any of you remember those? Or maybe they were called something different. I remember his said Zoom ball. Tiny spots here. This part's a little bit wider. That is looking pretty cool, I think. Oh, I missed one down here. Good thing I seen that. Well, I'd go back anyway and look at it, but this one here doesn't really have anything, so I'm just wondering if it was like missing something in the book or if it's supposed to look like that. I'm leaving it as it is, you know. Oh well, it is what it is. But I'm almost wondering if it was supposed to have like numbers. But that's okay. I like to have my pictures a little different. All right, this one's gonna go over here. I am enjoying coloring this page though. Ooh, I really like the way that one looks up here. I really like that one a lot. That orange just really pops. Are any of you currently coloring in this book? Or coloring along? In any book? Maybe diamond painting or painting or doing any other type of fun hobby? Crocheting? Or are you just listening and hanging out? Or watching? Sitting back and relaxing? If you are coloring, what book are you coloring in? And what are you using to color the picture with? I would be interested to know, or interested to know what you're doing in general. I like to hear from you guys. I like answering your comments, and I am enjoying doing this a lot. Very cool. So I'll probably finish this part up and then I will, well, we'll see. I got a few other colors over here, and then I'm going to probably add my own stuff to it. So I'll probably finish this, color it up, and we'll wrap up this second color in chat. Finish the tiny bit that's left on my own and maybe add some other stuff to it. So I don't give you guys too long of a video tonight. My last one was almost 2 hours, so unless you like them, I could talk all night. I'm a talker to you guys. Now in real life, I'm actually pretty quiet. Except for at home, of course. Being a mom and with my husband and around my family and friends, but yeah, I'm pretty quiet normally. So I got a notification from my library. I don't know if any of you guys have the Libby app. I use it on my iPad to check out books or put books on hold at the library. I use that too on top of having my own books. If there's a book that I'm reading or want to read. Well, one of my holds was available. So I was super excited. I was thinking like Merry Christmas to me because it came out. I'm so excited that I can read it. It's from the Blood and Ash series. I read from Blood and Ash. It's by Jennifer L. Armentrout. It's the second book in the series that I got. It's a fantasy book. And the first one was so good that I just had to read the second one. So it's finally available and I can read it. So I'm definitely really excited about that. I've only read one chapter so far, you know. I can only read again when my kids are asleep. That's the time to do my self-care. So I'm excited to read that. Do any of you like fantasy books? I recently just got into them, so this year I did. I started reading some and now I really like them. There's more that I would like to read in 2024. It's weird saying that. But I want to work off my shelf too. And I do have some fantasy ones on my shelf, but there's some I want to read out of the library too. Okay. Yeah, the second book is called, don't quote me, but I think it's called A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. I think that's what the second one's called. But that's what I'm. And it does. The first one had some romance, some pretty steamy scenes, so. I read all different genres of books, so. Okay, let's see. Oh, and I did mention in my previous video that I do read sometimes also in the morning when if my daughter's still asleep, because my son's getting ready for school and he does that stuff by himself. But if she's still asleep, I'll read. Otherwise, I can't when she's awake, which is fine, you know. She needs her mom and mom time. 2. We are getting close. I keep looking up to make sure my head's not in there. I said that in the last one too. Because I lean way over. Well, surprisingly, my back ain't hurting today, but if I were at the dining room table coloring, oh, my back would hurt. Well, I did color on the dining room table today and it wasn't bad, so maybe I was sitting up a little better today. I'm trying to work on that. Not at my desk here, though. My chair is comfy, but in the dining room, no. What are we thinking about these flowers? I think they're coming together nicely. Got some here. Do any of you have a favorite color? Honestly, I like all colors pretty much, but I wasn't into that green. Like that fall green color, almost like a hunter green, maybe a little, like more like an olive green actually. I was for a while into that color. It's still pretty, but my mind changes all the time. Like I must have like different colors every month. I've always liked teal. I don't know what it is about that color, but I just always find it so pretty. My mom's favorite color, I remember, was like a robin egg blue. So if I ever got her a shirt or anything for her birthday or Christmas or Mother's Day, I'd always have it have that robin egg blue. She always looks really pretty in it too. My mom has blue eyes. Her eyes really pop with that. My dad has brown eyes and I have green. I think all my other siblings have like hazel or like brown eyes. I'm the only one with green eyes. My best friend has green eyes too, and she's the only one in her family with green eyes too. Okay, this is definitely coming along nicely. This one though, I'm almost wondering if it's supposed to be like, almost looks like a dying flower. Maybe it is. I don't know. Or maybe the sun is hitting these other flowers and not that one. So it's special. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. I don't know. And there's more coloring books. I don't know if it's like it's like a collection or series of coloring books. I just found out that are before this. So I don't know if there's like 6 total. I have number 6. So I might in the future have to get the other ones if they're still available. Because I do like this book. I like all my books. Haven't had a bad book yet, so I'll let you know if I get one. But that would just be my opinion. If I think it's bad, it doesn't have to be anybody else's. But I haven't had one. And I like all my supplies. Just some of them are different than others. Like my Statler pencils, they're a little harder than the other ones. Same. I think the Crayola, well, they're not as hard, but they're a little harder too. But they all color nicely and different, so that's what I like about them. They're all so different. Gotta get around here. Alright, I think I got them all. So I just have a tiny bit down here. I could finish it. But I think you guys get the looks of what the picture will look like. And I'll add my own little work to it and show you at the end of the month. So yes, and I may touch up on this one too. I gotta do some thinking, just a little bit. Alright, so that's gonna be it for tonight. I hope you guys like this video. If you liked my video, please consider giving it a big thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of what I do, what I color, what I chat about, any of that fun stuff, please consider subscribing. And I hope you guys all had a Merry Christmas. Thank you. Bye.